Hello, my Pasco friends. I had just finished grading your interview assignments, and last night I posted our first big speech, which is called Stats, Studies, and Stories. But I wanted to give you this 5-minute tutorial on the speech itself, and most importantly, is how to find that topic, because it might be one of the hardest things to come up with is, you have the whole world. What do you decide to talk about? And what I want you to do is think here, not here. Think of your heart and think of your passions. Think of things that are close to you and important to you and want to drive you to tape yourself and speak about. So when you do this, I always say if it's in your heart, it's already in your head. And by speaking from your heart, you already have a file up here that you can start from. And I think that's a very good way to not only develop a talk, but it will also bring your voice around, because when you're passionate about something, you can speak to it without having to read, and your voice will also display that passion. So first things first, find a topic that matters to you here. And then think along these terms. Tell me something I don't know. Don't just give me the regular base information. Try to create those angles and tell me something I don't know about the subject. Enlighten me. And that's a great way to always have a topic that you're interested in and that you have some background in and that you can develop further. And along those lines of development, when I say stats, studies, and stories, you'll see in your outline there is a point 1, point 2, and point 3. I want at least 2 times to hear you say this phrase, according to. Because when you say that phrase, according to, you are going to be forced to give me a source. According to makes you give the source, and that source could be a person, a Dr. Joe Smith, or it could be an entity, according to a study at the University of California. But it's just so important that you always link up your stats, that is to say your numbers, your findings, with a source. They are like family, and they always need to be together. So stats are great, but sometimes I say, I want to know who the parents are. That is to say, I want to know where those numbers came from. Because if you just told me, 83,000 people will die today from sun poisoning. Oh, wow. According to who? And so as you begin this process of building, just know that in this speech, at least twice, I want to hear you give those stats and join them up with the source that provided them. And this is how you can strengthen your talks. Because I love opinions, but opinions can be challenged. So when you back your opinions up with facts, well, you have backup. So this is an exercise in not only beginning this process of building a talk, but also always beginning the process of backing yourself up with good facts and solid sources. Speaking of sources, sometimes I get some really weak sources, and according to goofy.org, and I'll go, yeah, that doesn't sound like a really good source to me. So sometimes these fly-by-night websites or blogs, a blog is not really a source. A blog is just where people go and blow off steam. So always keep in mind that the quality of your source matters as much as the facts that you found. Keep those together. So stats and studies, and then of course stories. And we've worked on this a little bit. Many of you in the feedback, I talked about storytelling and how important it is. And this is where this comes in. So if you choose a topic that you have a personal tie to, a passion for, it's easier to find that story to humanize things. Because stats and studies are cold, but stories are warm. And just like taking a shower, you don't want the water to be all cold, and you don't want the water to be smoking hot. You want it to be in that middle spot somewhere. So you begin to balance cold facts with warm stories. And that way, your audience is so comfortable, and they love to bathe in your intelligence. That's pretty good, huh? So send me your outlines. If you see here, you know, you have to send me your outline so I can look at it and grade it and give you advice. Don't just send me an outline and then tape the speech. Send me that outline and then wait for me. I'll be looking, but wait for me to kind of look and see. I want to know if you're on the right path, and if you are, you get green lighted, and then you do your speech just like you've done before, either on YouTube or through the file system on Canvas. One last thing, please remember, I teach 3 classes at Pasco, so when I sit down to do my Pasco students, I have 90 speeches to grade. And when I'm good, I can do 4, maybe 5 in an hour. So it takes a long time. So please be patient, and please, if you can submit early, I love you, because then I can start knocking some off. So do your best. Always reach out to me with questions. Send me your outlines first. Let's go from there. And once you have a strong outline, when you know that you have strength behind you, that is to say your thoughts are good, your facts are good, your story's good, when you have that strength behind you, then what lies in front of you is going to be strong too. All right? Have a great day, and thank you all for your efforts so far. See ya.